How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about MS-13, MSDN, MSNBC anchor Brian Williams and a guest trying to break down Michael Bloomberg's campaign spending live on air, but failing in an epic way. Now, there is a whole lot to quote unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. But first, we got to get into the clip. In this clip, you'll see what I just said in its full context. After we get done watching it, I'll break down what they tried and failed to do in the video. I'll give you my 2 cents, my analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
But you see it as a possibility if he wants to spend $1 billion beating this guy, he could do it.
Absolutely. Somebody tweeted recently that actually with the money he spent, he could have given every American $1 million.
I've got it. Let's put it up on the screen. When I read it tonight on social media, it kind of all became clear. Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. U.S. population, 327 million. Don't tell us if you're ahead of us on the math. He could have given each American $1 million and have had lunch money left over. It's an incredible way of putting it.
It's an incredible way of putting it. It's true. Nope. It's disturbing. It does suggest, what we're talking about here, which is there's too much money in politics.
All right, so you heard that, you saw that. Now, I'm not really sure where to begin. I guess the elephant in the room would be Brian Williams himself. This is the same guy that used to be over on NBC Nightly News that got demoted to MSNBC because of lying. Remember the whole thing about, we got shot down by an RPG when we flew to Iraq in the helicopter. I went to Baghdad with SEAL Team 6. He was telling totally false war stories that involved his professional career. It ain't just like, I told a white lie here and there about my personal life, about, poker game I played when I was in college. It ain't like that. You're talking about things you're lying about as it relates to your profession over at NBC as a journalist. So when that went viral, everybody knew about it. If you're watching NBC News every night and you see this guy on TV, how can you really trust him? He has no credibility. So as a result of that, they did not fire him. He has a pretty big contract and he's very well known. They put him over on MSNBC in purgatory. Basically, I've not really seen him too much since then. Does he have a show over there? I don't really know, but I digress. My whole point is that he was booted off of NBC, the big boy network, and put over on MSNBC for lying. Now, I don't know if he was lying here, if he was just misinformed, if he just incompetent or what. But what I do know is that there is no excuse for this, okay? Anybody can see that that's wrong. If you have $500 million and 300 million people, you can't have $1 million for each person, okay? It just doesn't make any sense, all right? And I'm struggling to figure out how nobody caught that. It's different if it's just one guy who's incompetent and they're at their house just like me on a computer doing everything themselves. No, it ain't like that. Brian Williams is not the guy that's doing the graphics or producing the content or writing the script or booking the guests or doing the camera work or anything like that, or the sound work. You have an entire team of people doing the show. Sound guys, graphic guys, content producers, editors, people that do everything. You might have 30 guys on set at minimum doing one show. So how is it that out of all those guys, girls or whatever, Brian Williams himself, the guest, the person that wrote it, how was it that nobody caught that tweet was totally wrong, 1000% wrong? How did nobody catch that? We're not talking about any kind of really advanced thing here. We're talking about really basic numbers. Basic. The numbers are kind of big, I guess, 9-digit numbers, $100 million or more. We're talking about big numbers, but it ain't really that big, okay? Because you have the same amount of digits in each number, 500 million, 300 million is the same number of digits. And just do basic division, 5 divided by 3, it's about 1.6 repeating, right? Now, if you do 5 divided by 3.27, that gets you 1.5 to 1.53 rounded. So that's how much money you get per person. $1.53, not $1 million. This is basic math. We ain't talk about nothing like, I'm not even good at math, okay? But I know my basic elementary school, first grade learning. it's kind of scary because these people, they probably got masters, PA. I have an associate's degree. Okay. And I'm a graphic designer originally. I'm not in any kind of field that involves math, but these people are running media and they're responsible for putting out content that you have to consume as a regular person. They can't even get a basic child's problem right. Simple division, not even really like complicated, Pam, we're talking about really basic stuff. 5 divided by 3. In order to get $1 million for each American citizen, you got to have $327 trillion. The total global GDP is like 80 trillion. There's not enough money on planet Earth to be able to do that. Okay. Well, you could print it, but at that point you have hyperinflation and nobody, you might get a loaf of bread for like $1 trillion. You understand at that point, but different story. I digress. My point is that the money's not even there to be able to do it. Any person with half a brain that knows any kind of basic math would know that right away. Okay. I mean, what's 300 million divided by 300 million? 1, not 1 million. This is crazy. But like I said, it's scary because these people are in charge of your media. They're in charge of what you consume every day. It's really, wow. Is it Common Core math? Is it a young person problem? I can't tell because Brian Williams is no spring chicken. He was not doing Common Core when he was growing up, but he didn't catch it. So is he a moron, a liar, or what? I don't really know, but I digress. I think this is why some people believe in your Andrew Yangs and your Bernie Sanders of the world, because they don't understand basic math. They think that UBI, $1,000 per month, is not only affordable at over $1 trillion per year minimum, but it will also help. You're talking about 12 grand a year. How is it really going to help the economy just rise from the ashes? If you lost a job due to automation where you're getting like 80 grand a year, how was the 12 grand going to help you? And if you're getting welfare, that's the equivalent to the 12 grand. You don't even get UBI. So if a person lost their job and they were getting 10 grand from welfare, UBI cancels out welfare. All they get is 2 grand extra in a year. That's like what, $200 a month, maybe? That's not a whole lot of money at all. So people just don't understand math. Andrew Yang has nerve to be wearing the math pen. Like, why are you wearing the math pen, sir? Maybe you don't know math, or maybe you do know math and you pulling the wool over American citizens' eyes. You have this whole thing about UBI, knowing it ain't going to work, wearing a math pen to masquerade as a guy that knows what he's talking about, or as a guy that has a program that will actually work. It will not work. Same thing with Bernie Sanders, talking about free this, free this, free this, free that. No, it's not going to be free. Basic math says that if you raise my taxes to pay for a thing, then I'm paying more money in taxes than I was paying before. Therefore, it's not free. Free means $0. Free means I don't pay anything for it, not in a direct way or indirect way. But people, again, they don't understand math. They don't understand numbers. They don't understand basic logic. So they'll say, oh, okay, yeah, pay for that. Talking about, oh, I don't mind paying more taxes to get people health insurance. All right, we'll pay more taxes. You can write a check to the IRS right now and they'll cash it. No questions asked. Donate your money right now to the IRS and tell all your buddies that make a lot of money do the same thing. How about that? Okay. This is basic information, and it kind of lets me know that common sense, it ain't common no more. It can't be common when you can't even do basic division. 5 divided by 3, 5 divided by 3.25. I mean, look, calculator, it's simple. This is not expensive. This is not something that you can't get. I had this for like years. You see, it's Office Max. I got it for like maybe $5, $10, and I've had it since I was getting money back in like 07. This is not a hard thing to be able to come by. You have your phone. You all got a phone. It's a calculator right there in your phone. I just don't really understand. I'm flabbergasted. But then again, like I said, this is why you're getting fake news. These people are morons. Morons. I mean, like I said, common sense, it ain't too common no more. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think this whole thing was intentional to just try and pull the wool over your eyes to make you think that, oh, yeah, he spent $500 million and he could have given everybody $1 million, like to make you think that, even though it's not true? Because I wouldn't put it past them. They may know that the whole thing was phony and false. Like I said, they're very well educated. I find it hard to believe that a person and people, not just one guy, but everybody on set is that dumb and that uneducated to not have caught this. Maybe they caught it but thought that we wouldn't catch it. They think we're dumb. They think that we think 500 million divided by 300 million is over $1 million each. That's, I mean, you're talking about like some of these problems you may see in the book where it's like Johnny has 5 apples, April has 5 apples, and they put them together and Jimmy takes 2. How many are left? I mean, that's really what we're talking about right here. First grade worksheets. You got grown people, 70-something years old, talking about, $1 million each. Am I overreacting? Is it, am I going too far? Or am I just exposing what the media, mainstream media, what they are into? Just giving out fake information, false information, not fact checking, sloppy, ridiculous, lazy. I'm one guy by himself in a bedroom in my house that knows more than an entire set of people. Like I said, I have an associate's degree and that's it. And it's not even in math at all. It's in graphic design, but yet I understand basic things that a whole studio of people that get paid to do this don't get. This is why people are starting to get away from the mainstream media and they're coming to guys like me and many of my friends and many others that are out there doing independent work. We do a better job many times at conveying information than the mainstream media does. The mainstream media are good at being able to get insider scoops and having boots on the ground to get raw information. But people like myself and many others are often better at being able to relay it and get it to the actual people without the lies and the ridiculousness and the just falsehoods on it. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.